Team USA basketball, they gotta stir up some drama. They gotta stir up some drama with Paige Bueckers hitting a shot on Caitlin Clark. They gotta stir up some drama, and of course, just setting both of them up to get cooked in the comments.
Team USA basketball just dropped practice footage, and let me tell you, social media absolutely lost its collective mind within seconds. We're talking about Paige Bueckers hitting one single shot over Caitlin Clark during what was clearly just a standard drill, and you would genuinely think someone had just clinched the championship based on the reactions that flooded in. Here's what's really going on, though. USA basketball knew exactly, and I mean exactly, what they were doing when they decided to post that specific clip. They're stirring up drama between two fan bases that already have this intense rivalry brewing, and they're doing it deliberately. Think about it, after 5 long months of Caitlin fans desperately waiting to see her play any kind of actual competitive basketball, this practice clip is what we finally get to see, and predictably, people completely lost their minds over it.
Act like CC wasn't getting PB to turn over that ball last time like they played 3 times. Last time they played like 3 times. Yeah. Paige Bueckers thought Caitlin Clark was on her team. She turned the ball over so much. I hope y'all are monitoring the negative, nasty comments from.
So, here's my question for you, and I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Why does one practice shot during a routine drill create this level of absolute chaos and heated debate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I'm genuinely curious what you think this whole situation says about basketball fans today, and how we consume and react to content. So, here's what actually went down. Team USA basketball posted practice footage from their training camp happening in North Carolina, and there was this one particular clip that sent the entire internet into what I can only describe as complete and total meltdown mode. Paige Bueckers managed to hit a shot over Caitlin Clark during what anyone with basketball knowledge could see was just a standard defensive drill, nothing fancy or dramatic about it, but man, the reactions were instantaneous and honestly completely unhinged when you step back and look at the bigger picture. Let's get crystal clear about what we actually witnessed in this footage, because the narrative has gotten completely out of control. This was a practice drill, people, not some intense one-on-one showdown, not a high-stakes scrimmage with something meaningful on the line, just a routine defensive drill where players work on developing specific skills and handling particular game situations. Paige managed to get a shot off, and it went in. Caitlin was playing defense like she was supposed to. That's literally it. That's the entire story right there. Nothing more dramatic or significant, but here's the thing that really gets me. USA basketball knew exactly what kind of reaction they were going to get when they posted that specific clip. Think about it, they could have easily posted any number of different moments from that same practice session. They could have shown Caitlin draining those signature threes from way downtown, Cameron Brink swatting shots into the next zip code, or any of the other incredibly talented players making highlight-worthy plays. Instead, they deliberately chose the clip of Paige scoring on Caitlin, and they absolutely knew it would generate massive engagement across all platforms. Mission completely accomplished, too, because the comments section immediately transformed into what looked like a digital war zone. Caitlin Clark fans rushed to defend her faster than you could blink, and their arguments actually made sense when you think about it. They were pointing out that this was literally just one single possession during practice, that Caitlin had been completely out of action for 5 months while recovering from injury, and that practice drills don't actually mean anything significant anyway in terms of determining who's better. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers fans started celebrating like she had just won Finals MVP or something, acting like this one shot during a drill somehow proved something earth-shattering about who's the superior player between these two. But here's the reality that both fan bases seem to absolutely refuse to acknowledge, and it's honestly frustrating. Elite players score on each other all the time. Like, constantly. That's literally what happens when you put great offensive players up against great defenders in any basketball setting. Sometimes the offense is going to win that battle, sometimes the defense is going to win. One possession during a practice drill tells you absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, about who's the better overall player. But here's the problem with social media, and why USA basketball knew this would blow up. nuance doesn't generate engagement or clicks. Hot takes and tribal loyalty, that's what gets people fired up and commenting and sharing. So instead of reasonable discussion, we got comments like, Paige is finally excited to win something, which is unnecessarily harsh when you consider that Paige has been dealing with serious, career-affecting injuries throughout her college career that prevented her from competing for championships through no fault of her own. Then we got comments from the other side like, Paige thought Caitlin was on her team because she turned the ball over so much, referencing their college matchups where Caitlin's Iowa teams actually beat Paige's UConn teams multiple times. The pettiness is honestly off the charts, and USA Basketball absolutely knew it would be exactly like this when they decided to post that clip. They're not naive or clueless about this stuff, they understand the fan bases, the existing rivalries, and the massive attention that comes from even the smallest appearance of drama between Caitlin and other top players. What gets completely buried and lost in all this manufactured controversy is what actually matters for basketball and these players' development. Both Caitlin Clark and Paige Bucher are incredibly talented basketball players who are there to help Team USA prepare for serious international competition against the best players in the world. They're not enemies plotting against each other, they're teammates working toward a common goal of representing their country. The idea that we need to turn every single interaction between them into some kind of definitive statement about who's better is honestly exhausting and takes away from appreciating what we're actually watching. The footage from practice showed Caitlin looking remarkably sharp after 5 months completely away from competitive basketball. She was moving well, shooting with that signature confidence we remember, playing defense with energy and genuine engagement. For someone who missed most of the WNBA season dealing with knee injuries, she looked surprisingly ready to compete at the highest level. One analyst made a really good point, noting that it's actually impressive how engaged Caitlin stayed with the Fever season despite being injured and unable to play. That mental challenge of sitting on the sidelines when you desperately want to compete is incredibly difficult, especially after going straight from an epic college season into the WNBA with basically no real break, and then suddenly being forced to watch from the bench. The fact that she remained visibly engaged with her team, supporting teammates from the sidelines, and staying mentally connected to the game actually speaks to real maturity and professionalism. The practice footage also showed Caitlin in proper defensive stance multiple times, actively working on that end of the floor. The narrative that she's a complete defensive liability has followed her throughout her entire career, and is often pretty unfair. She's not going to be an elite defender, but she's definitely not the turnstile that some critics make her out to be either. The fact that she's clearly putting in work on defense during Team USA practice suggests she fully understands that's an area where she can improve and wants to demonstrate she can hold her own against top competition. Paige Bucher being at this camp is actually